Hey guys, I want to tell you something that I have both thrived at and failed at, and hopefully it's going to be really helpful for you to learn so that way you don't go through the same mistakes and you can learn from my successes as well. So my name is Brandon. I'm with Grandma's Wealth Wisdom, and totally subscribe here to the channel and give me a thumbs up. And in the comments, I want you to write 80-20. 80-20. Just put that in the comments. I'd love to see that you're here. So years ago, I met this guy called Perry Marshall. I met him through a church connection, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna open up a business. I would love to learn from this guy who's an expert in business, according to other people. So let's have him out over for lunch and quote unquote pick his brain, which I don't like the idea of picking people's brain anymore. But anyway, we wanted to learn from this guy, so we went out to a bar and talked with him. I did not know he was famous until several years later, but I asked him any advice for people who are starting a business. What would you recommend that we do in your infinite wisdom as a business owner? And he said, always audition people. Always audition people. And so we did that. We auditioned almost everybody that came into the coffee shop that wanted to apply. You know, because people would have their interviews, stuff ready, their documents, and they're like perfect on paper. But then I would have them wash dishes, and they're like, oh my gosh, this person is slow as molasses. I need them to move faster, and I don't know if I can teach that. And so we did the auditions because of what he shared. And anytime I did not do an audition, usually that would bite me in the rear. So that was one thing that he taught me that I implemented and implement now. And then when I don't do that, it always comes back at me. So let's say I'm trying to hire somebody to do marketing or back office stuff or any other aspect of my business. When I don't do the audition piece to see, I just take them for their word, or I read whatever they put on their, I don't know, whatever other people say, just on a video, then I end up, not getting usually the results that I want. And I've learned that it's part of this 80-20. So Perry wrote this book, and I highly recommend it, 80-20 Sales and Marketing. So when I got this book, again, we were coffee shop owners, and I was like, I don't know if this stuff applies to me as a coffee shop owner, but I think it did. I just thought, whatever, I was too smart for it, or who knows. But now I'm looking back at some of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why wasn't I doing this? Why didn't I learn from that? But then I've learned at the same time, I was doing some of it, and I want to continue to get better, continue to always get better. 80-20 things. So as a coffee shop owner, man, it was just me and my wife, and we would hire somebody, and we would hire a few people over the course of time. And as we hired people based off of what he said, the idea of getting them to do an audition, seeing how they work, see if they would do it with even 80% of what I would do, then that is better, right? And then I can work on the 20%, right? And so as we are building our business and as we learn this Pareto principle even more, I think it's super, super valuable to keep looking and reflecting and saying, okay, what can I do? How can I audition more people to do the things that maybe I'm not strong at, maybe I need to grow at, but also things that maybe it takes too much of my time, and if they can do it at 80% of the speed of what I could do at 100, that might be better. So that's something that we've learned. But then I've also implemented this Pareto principle with the idea of profit first. So as I'm taking care of my numbers and looking at my operation expense for my business, I will be able to tell with pretty good certainty what's working and what's not working, what's an expense that's not producing the results that I want, and what is. So that's kind of like a staff person, right? Some of them, and if you're a business owner and you have staff, you'll know which ones are the top 20 and which ones are the 80%. And then you want to keep leveling those up, right? And so I'm really excited because we are interviewing Perry Marshall pretty soon for our Facebook and our YouTube, and not for our Facebook, for our YouTube and for our podcast. So if you want to hear that, subscribe right here, subscribe to the channel, and you can learn from people like Perry Marshall, who actually wrote the book on 80-20 sales and marketing. And I'm always learning, trying to get more and more people around me who can keep leveling us up. I mean, seriously, doing these videos, they're fun. Not my strong suit, but I know we have to do it. So, and I like doing it. And so if I could teach you guys anything, it's, hey, get out there. Even doing videos like this can make a big difference for you. Be a reader. You can check out this. The book will be in the comments below, and you can buy a copy of it. I highly recommend checking that out. And again, be excited because we are going to have him on doing an interview very soon. So with all that said, keep being awesome. Make sure that as we come out of COVID and as we are leveling up our business, that you are auditioning people to come alongside you, that you're auditioning people that as you want to level up your business, as you want to grow, that you not just look at their resume, but ask them to do a task for you and see if it is done to the abilities that you want, if they know how to wash dishes, if you run a coffee shop, if they know how to sweep, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. It's really good to watch, because people can tell you all kinds of crap, right? It's actually seeing it in action, at least a little bit, and then you can hire them. Now, I do say pay them for that time if they're doing something of value. Give them cash or something. But anyway, that's it. 80-20 your businesses, and combine that with profit first, and that's an explosion of goodness ready to happen.